Hello, Sir Sabit?
Mic test, mic test. Hello, hello.
Hello po.
Makinig niyo ako?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes po. You are
okay.
audible.
Wait
How
lang
are
ha.
you? How are you, Sir Sabit?
How are you? Wait lang ha. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes,
Grabe
sir.
ang polite niya sa akin.
Yes,
Ano
of
lang,
course. Yes, of
halos
course.
magkaedad lang tayo, guys.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I'm good. Kakakain ko lang kanina, actually.
Very good,
Kakagising ko
very
lang din.
good.
Mm. So,
So, it's great.
let me start the top para ano.
Yes, yes po, please. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, thank
so
you.
ito yung title. Leveraging global talent, adaptive. Mahaba yung title, I'm sorry. Pero, okay, let's start. Adapting to remote work. Hindi naman to complicated. Like, you just need a laptop and an internet connection and you can work anywhere. Like, kahit nandun ka pa sa, sa Boracay, di ba, mag-staycation ka din. As long as, again, may laptop ka, may internet, you can work anywhere. May kakilala ko, if kilala niyo si Nico, di ba si Nico, naging classmate niya ata yun. Like, he works at cafes. Sa mga cafes, nag-hop lang siya, cafe hop, tapos dun siya nag-work. May office din siya, pero like, again, what you need, laptop, internet, bam. Si Jan, naging professor niyo before siya before siya nagkaroon ng studio, she used to nagfi-film siya sa mga cafes, dun siya nagpa-product placement, yung mga clients niya nasa abroad. Again, kailangan mo lang ng laptop tapos internet. You can work anywhere. Ako naman, yung setup ko, I can't really do that kasi may setup kasi ako sa place ko. Nandito yung monitor ko, yung work laptop, camera, may mic ako dito, headset, PC, di ba, speakers. So, I can't really bring, di ko sila madadala. Pero, I'm more of the type na I stay in a place for mga ilang years before ako mag-move sa ibang place. Pero again, depende lang naman yun sa preference niyo. Pero yeah, this is all you need, laptop and an internet connection. Yun. So, ensuring legal compliance naman. Sabihin natin, like, nag-interview kayo, like, in-interview kayo ng company, tapos, you got lucky, or binasbasan kayo ni Lord, nakapasa kayo sa interview, right? Now, may contract. Bibigyan kayo ng contract niyan. Contract, tapos nandito yung salary offer, tapos meron yung responsibilities mo, ano yung mga, it's more like pag may mangyari sa'yo, hindi liable yung company, mga ganun, mga legal stuff. Tapos, after nun, bibigyan kayo ng time ng company before kayo mag-start. Like, yung sa akin, binigyan ako ng 2 weeks. 2 weeks to collect government requirements, work requirements. May papel, tas may listahan ng mga requirements. Yun lang naman. Tapos, from what I remember, have you guys played like mga RPG games, yung mga role playing games, 'di ba? Yung kagaya ng Pokemon, 'di ba? Like let's say for example, yun. Let's say for example, wait lang ha. Okay. Paano ba mano yung chat? Let's say for example, may dragon, tapos kailangan mo i-slay yung dragon. So kailangan mo ng sword para mapatay yung dragon, right? Para craft mo yung sword, kailangan mo ng leather, tapos kailangan mo ng iron. Yung leather, kailangan pa mag-fly papunta dun sa village na yan para pumunta ka sa farm, papatay mo yung mga cows, tapos para mag-drop ng leather. Tapos yung iron naman, tatawid ka pa by boat dun, tapos may cave dun, tapos may mga slimes dun, tapos may mga iron ores, papatay mo yung slimes, tapos may iron ores. Tapos eventually, di ba, may may items ka na to craft the sword. Tapos pag craft mo ng sword, okay, pwede ka na mag-slay ng dragon. Punta ka sa dragon, one hit ka ng dragon and then kailangan mo mag-revive. Di ba, yun yung RPG games. Experience sa mga RPG games, ganun yung experience sa pag-collect ng work requirements. It's very tedious. Like, let's say for example, NBI clearance, kailangan mo ng ganito, kailangan mo ng barangay certificate, tapos yung mga thing na kailangan mo is may kailangan din sila, and it's like, yeah. Kaya di ba, yung sa akin, apat lang actually yung hiningi sa akin, apat lang. And it took me 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks. Ang dami kong nasayang na days nun. And That's all I remember nung nag-collect ako ng work requirements. Don't worry, like it's may experience yun din yung suffering na na-experience ko. Nag-collect ako ng work requirements. Yun lang naman. Actually, that's it sa Kasi yung kanina, yung mga sinabi ko, yung adapting about adapting to remote work, tapos ensuring legal compliance. Those things, yeah, while important sila, right? They don't really matter if wala kang job. Di ba? Wala kang trabaho, like, anong gamit nun, di ba? So, yeah, kaya ako, di ba, like, I thought na since university students kayo, then and I'm in the industry, like, why not, di ba? Since ako, I found a job, and maybe I can share some insights, like how I did it, yung journey ko, and what I've learned, di ba? And yeah, malay nyo, this might be like the most important talk sa this year para sa inyo, right? Like, babalikan nyo pala tong talk na to. Yun. So, yun. Essentially, what I want to talk about, yung meat talaga ng talk na to is how to get a job in tech 2024. ngayong 2024. So, to give lang like an overview, like why I think na this talk is relevant, ito yung perception ko. This is not an accurate graph, by the way. Perception ko lang to. This is like my perception nung year 2020 to ngayon, right? Ito yung graph ng tech market. So, papansin nyo, like there's like this upward trend around 2020, 2021, di ba? Like may upward na trend. So ito yung pandemic tech boom, di ba? So ano nangyari nung pandemic? Nung pandemic kasi, lockdown. So nung nag-lockdown, ano nangyari nung nag-lockdown? People can't really get out. So yung wala silang ibang libang kundi to use their phones, to use their laptops. So dito umuso yung yung Netflix, di ba? Like think about it, di ba? Like bakit ang uso ng Netflix ngayon? Like Netflix, instead of going sa mga sinihan, di ba? Like magne-Netflix na lang, instead na mag-grocery ka, anong gagawin? Like maglalasada na lang, mag-Shopee, mag-Amazon. Instead of meeting people na like kung gusto mo makipag-date sa kanila, di ba? Like andyan na yung Tinder, yung online dating. Tapos ang dami nun, like di ba sunod-sunod yun, like kagaya nito, this is like Google Meet, di ba? Google Meet, instead of like me being there sa inyo, like being an offline speaker, di ba? Speaking in front of you guys, di ba? I'm speaking in front of a camera. So lahat na related sa tech ng mga companies, like nagkaroon ng boom during this time. Nagkaroon ng boom. And if makikita mo yung peak ng graph, right? Yung peak ng graph, that was around like mga August 2021. Yun yung pinaka-peak niya ng pandemic tech boom. So during this time, if pumunta kayo sa YouTube, like search for videos during this time, most of the videos na makikita nyo doon is like how to be a web developer in 3 months. How to be a software engineer in 4 months. Tapos meron pa yung mga videos na day in the life of a Spotify dev na yung mga nakikita mo na videos doon is like yung buffet ng company, diba? Nakikita mo kumakain na lang sila, hindi sila nag-work. Like ang dami nun, puro day in the life. Tapos kasi yun eh, like like parang na-show ko ito na ang daling makapasok sa tech. Diba? It's so easy to get into tech na kahit yung grandma mo, yung lola mo, baka makapasok sa tech. Yun. Pero, again, not all good things last, diba? Everything that goes up eventually will go down. Kaya nakita mo yung graph, it went down. Pero, why did this go down? Itong graph na to, why did this go down? So, kasi, like, after pandemic, natapos yung lockdown, right? So, people can now go out. May choice na sila. So, instead of like mag-Netflix, di ba? May choice na sila na mag-sine. Instead of like mag-dating apps, may choice na sila to meet people, di ba? Like, they have a choice. So yung mga tech companies, they started losing users and they lost a lot of users. Yun. Isa pa yun, like they lost a lot of users or they lost revenue, di ba? So since they lost revenue, they have to cut costs. Di ba, kailangan magtipid yung mga companies kasi they're like playing on negative yung profit nila. So ano yung ginawa ng companies? Di ba? Anong ginawa nila? It's like layoffs to cut cost. Layoffs, sunod-sunod yun. Layoffs, I think yung nauna nun is like yung Twitter, like they cut like more than 50% ata nung nung company nila, like boom, nawala, like gone. Tapos sumunod yung Meta, sumunod yung Amazon, sumunod, and actually halos lahat ng tech companies. Nag-layoff sila. So, ano pa ba yung mga factors like bakit bumaba yung bakit gumanito yung graph? AI, di ba? Remember, around 2021, like late 2021, ChatGPT, di ba? Nag-kasi yung yung hype ng ChatGPT, tapos sumunod yung Claude, sumunod yung Llama, like lahat na ng AIs. So yung businesses, yung mga companies, yung mga business leaders, like why would we hire people when we can just use AI, di ba? So parang dumagdag pa yun. Tapos ano pa ba? Ghost jobs. Hindi ko alam kung familiar kayo sa ghost jobs, pero yung ghost jobs kasi, para siyang job application, right? Pero wala kang mapapala. If you try to apply to that job application, walang mangyayari. Like nothing, you will not get anything, you will not get rejected, you will not get ghosted kasi nga wala kang mapapala doon. So yung purpose ng ghost jobs? So yung purpose ng ghost jobs is yung mga HR, mostly HR, na they're trying to research the market. Gusto nilang i-research yung market, like ano yung preference ng mga tao, sino yung mga nag-a-apply. Like usually you will see this, try mo mag-apply sa mga jobs, makikita mo yun. Like they're trying to survey you, ano yung ethnicity mo, ano yung age mo, ano ka ba, Asian, Hispanic, tapos ano yung like are you willing to work remotely, are you willing to work hybrid, yung mga ganun questions. Like they're trying to get information for you for research purposes. So wala silang intention to hire. And the thing is, this should be illegal. Illegal dapat to. Pero sadly, wala kasi. It's like there's no regulation. So kaya again, if magpunta kayo sa mga online jobs ngayon and you try to see a job, it's like really hard to actually tell if this is like a real job posting or a ghost job. And sadly, it's prevalent. Like it's like, I think a good 50%, 50, 60, 70, it feels like 70 pa nga, 70% na like there's job applications that don't exist. Like there are jobs that don't exist pero may job application lang for some reason, may job board, may yun. Another one is ito salarin din to. Online job applications. Sorry. I clicked wrong. Online job applications. Yung online job applications, like dati kasi before LinkedIn, di ba? Before LinkedIn, like we have a company tapos nag-try sila maghanap ng applicants, right? So they usually makukuha nila mga lima. Tapos if they're like mga famous na companies, baka 10 yung makuha nila. So if 5 yung applicants sa company na yon, yung chance mo to get hired is 1 in 5. Di ba? 1/5 yung chance mo. So kung 10 naman, 1 in 10. Now, dumating yung LinkedIn, yung mga online job applications. It's so easy to apply for jobs now. So, mag-try ka mag-apply, click mo easy apply sa LinkedIn. Yung previous, nakita mo agad ilan yung mga tao nag-apply before you. It's like 1,000 plus. So ngayon, yung chance mo to get a job is 1 in 1,000. Di ba? Nag-gets nyo? It's like, it's looking bleak. Hindi siya, like, again, yun yung marami pang factors like interest rates and stuff. Pero like yun yung parang hindi kasi siya hindi siya yung isa lang. It's like multiple factors na sunod-sunod tapos combination tapos yun kaya boom gumanon yung nag-crash ba yung yung mark. Hindi naman actually parang yeah. Yun. So ano yung relevance nitong graph na to? Kasi around this time is when I was applying for jobs. Yeah, so I experienced it firsthand nung I think mga late 2022, parang pa yun like medyo like na-realize na yung parang mafe-feel mo na talaga na parang ang hirap ng maka-apply, mahirap ng makakuha ng job. Tapos pagdating ng late 2023, I was like, it was hell. Hell na talaga siya, like I was not getting any feedback, puro ghost, like you're lucky if ma-reject ka. You're lucky if makakuha ka ng rejection letter. Like ganun ka grabe yung market, like parang wala nang decency yung mga tao, like yung mga companies, wala na silang they don't have that enough respect to give you a rejection letter. Like they just it's just silence. So yun, it was hellish. Pero even then, I got a job. Even in this really bad market, I got a job. And not just one, actually, I got three. I got three, like dalawang internships and my current job. So yun, that's why I think na this might be like the most important talk para sa inyo like this year. You might look back on this talk and baka may matutunan kayo. Yun. So brief background about me. So I'm a software engineer. Yung specialization ko is Python. Nasabi na ni JV kanina, 1 year and 6 months yung total experience ko. Yung first internship ko is at DICE. So it's in Manila. It's a startup in Manila. And then Eridify, fintech startup based in Singapore. Tapos yung current company ko is Utility. It's not really a startup. Matagal na sila. Pero yung culture nila is a startup culture and they're based in Canada. Yun. So, yun. Are you guys excited to know paano ko nagawa ito? Oh, nice. I'm seeing like mga likes. Yun. So before we start answering the question, like what are tech companies looking for? Kasi diba, like they're looking for someone tas for some reason parang isa ako sa mga hinahanap nila. Kumbaga, like what are they trying to find in me? What are they trying to find in other yung mga other applicants na itatry nila i-hire, na gusto nilang i-hire. Pero before we answer that question, tingnan muna natin yung perception ng perception ng mga parties involved about the tech market. So sabi ni employees, sila yung nag-a-apply for jobs, sila yung mga aplikante. Sabi ng employee, it's hard to land a job because the market is saturated. Bakit ba nasabi ni employee to? So like, di ba, if we look back kanina sa slide kanina, I mentioned about layoffs, right? I mentioned about layoffs. So yung layoff kasi, like experience ng mga tao, like they have like tons of experience, really talented people, na layoff sila. Like no warning, nawalan sila ng job. So like nawalan sila ng job, so now they're in the tech market. Nasa market sila, like they're looking for jobs and they're desperate. Kasi wala silang trabaho. Tapos may pamilya sila. Usually ba, matagal na sila sa industry, so pamilyado sila most probably. Tapos they're desperate for jobs. Tapos dumating yung mga fresh graduates, mga bootcamp grads, tapos yung ako self-taught, college dropout, di ba, mga self-taught, tapos halo-halo sa market, di ba? Halo-halo sa market. So like, it makes sense. Bakit nila nasabi to na it's hard to land a job because the market is saturated? Ang dami. Tapos, imagine, like, na-experience ko kasi to, like, nandun na ako sa final interview, tapos, ilan na lang kami sa final interview, right? Tapos, yung mga ibang applicants, yung mga ibang candidates ba na pipiliin ng company, tiningnan ko yung LinkedIn nila, tapos nakita ko 5 years experience, and I'm like, bro, this is like a junior position. Like, entry level yung ina-apply namin, tapos bakit ka nandito? Pero yun kasi yung nangyari. Kasi, again, experience sila na layoff, tapos desperate sila for jobs. So they're willing to downscale. They downgrade yung pay level nila ba, yung position nila just to get a job. So yun yung mga kalaban mo sa job market ngayon. Kaya, this is completely valid yung sinabi nila. Pero, sabi ni employer is sila yung companies na nagbibigay ng jobs. Like sila yung nagpo-post ng mga job postings. So sabi nila, we're struggling to find talent. I want you guys to pause and think about it. Bakit sila nagsustruggle to find talent when ang daming tao sa market, di ba? There's like a lot of people that are looking for jobs and they're struggling. Like if you search for punta sa Google and search ano yung demand for tech, it's growing. The demand for tech is growing. And hindi siya pababaha, it's like an upward trend. Pero they're struggling to fill the positions na kailangan nila. Like, it doesn't make sense if you think about it. Pero there's a reason for it, okay? And this would make sense if we understand what talent even means. What are they trying to look for? So talent means skill. skilled. So, if talent means skilled, maraming applicants, what does that mean? Most applicants are unskilled. Okay? So, hindi actually, like, ano lang yun, parang pagtingin lang natin na maraming applicants. Like, pero actually, the ones that can actually fill the jobs, kukunti lang. Di ba? Kasi most of them are unskilled. So, what does skilled even mean? Di ba? Like, sa tech kasi, it's closer to like being a carpenter. It's closer to pagiging carpintero over being a doctor. So, let me paint a picture para mas maintindihan nyo. So, imagine ako, may lote ako, I have a plot of land. Tapos, gusto kong mag-build ng dream house ko. So like, I want to build my dream house, diba, sa lote ko. Pero wala akong skills to build my house. So, yung gagawin ko is, i-outsource ko yun, right? Like, mag-hire ako ng carpenters. So, may dalawa akong candidates. I have two candidates, si Carpenter A, tapos si Carpenter B. So, si Carpenter A, ano siya? Grabe yung theory niya when in terms like sa carpentry ba, like alam niya yung materials na gagamitin, alam niya yung bakal, yung type ng bakal na gagamitin, like alam niya yung paano gumawa ng foundation, gaano kalalim, like lalagyan ba ng spring if para pag lumindol hindi magka-crash yung bahay. Like alam niya yung like anong materials, alam niya yung budget, like paano ba mag-cut costs, like grabe yung theoretical knowledge niya in terms of sa field ng carpentry. In fact, na PhD in carpentry. Yun si Carpenter A. Tapos si Carpenter B naman, yung theoretical knowledge niya when it comes to carpentry, ganun lang. He knows enough, pero hindi ganun ka deep kay Carpenter A. Si Carpenter B, what he has going for him though is may tito siya. Yung tito niya, head carpenter yung tito niya. Tapos head carpenter, tapos sinasama siya sa gigs. So like sabihin natin like may construction gig, sinasama si Carpenter B para like assistant. So tapos they build houses, they build chairs. Eventually si Carpenter B nagigets niya how to build houses from yung paulit-ulit na gigs nila, di ba? Like ang dami nilang gigs, tas eventually parang may idea na siya how to build a house on his own. Pero silang dalawa, si Carpenter A at si Carpenter B, they've never built a house on their own. In fact, first time nila to. Now, ikaw yung, let's say you were in my position. Who would you hire? Sige nga, chat. I want to see. Lagay niyo sa chat. A or B? Oh, may dalawang B. Dalawa lang? Dalawa? Sige. Type A or B. Oh, puro. Okay. Di ba? Like, okay. Yung nakita ko is mostly B. Ganun sa tech. They're looking for someone skilled. Pero, what does being skilled even mean? What does skills even mean? So, yun. So, before natin ma-answer yung question na yun, na what the hell are these skills na tinatry na lang hanapin, tingnan muna natin how tech interviews are structured. Wait lang ha. How tech interviews are structured. Kasi 'di ba, itong companies na to, they have like multiple applicants. Tapos isa lang yung hinahanap nila, right? Mostly isa lang. So kailangan nilang way to filter out candidates. Kailangan nila yun. So they have like tech interviews to do that for them. Para pagdating sa final interview, instead of like 1,000, mga sabihin natin dalawa na lang or tatlo yung pipiliin nila. 'Di ba? So it's easier to choose. So they use tech interviews to filter candidates. Tapos tingnan natin how it's structured para malaman natin what the hell are they even looking for, di ba? Para magkaroon ba tayo ng idea, like what are they looking for? So yun, yung typical tech interview process starts with the initial interview. Sorry, may dumaan. Yun, initial interview, HR or recruiter, yung typical questions na makukuha nyo dito, it's like, tell me about yourself. what are your strengths and weaknesses? Yun yung mga tipong questions na na makukuha niyo dito. This is easy to pass, don't worry. Madali lang to. Yung advice ko lang sa inyo sa initial interview, kung ano yung question sa inyo ng HR or ng recruiter, remember nyo lang, punta kayo sa YouTube, lagay nyo doon, how to answer, tell me about yourself. Yun lang. Ulit-ulitin nyo lang yan. Like, whatever question they ask you, like, punta lang kayo sa YouTube. Yun. Kaya madali lang itong i-pass. Yung mahirap is the technical interview. Ito yung meat grinder. Dito kayo babagsak. In fact, I failed a lot of this technical interview. Kahit gaano ka pa kagaling as a dev or as someone in the industry, babagsak ka dito. Like, if you're not prepared. So, yung dalawa lang yan, technical interview. It's one or the other. It's either live coding or project-based. Don't worry, i-expand ko to. Live coding. So, live coding, imagine ito. Imagine ito. Ito yung monitor ko. Right? Ito yung monitor ko. Ako yung applicant. Ako yung nag-a-apply for job. Ako yung ni-interview. Ito yung monitor ko. Nandito yung webcam ko. Nandito yung interviewer. Yung interviewer, nakatingin siya sa akin. Nakatingin siya sa akin via my webcam. Diba? Nakatingin siya sa akin. Nandito yung timer. Mga 10 minutes. May timer dito. Tapos, nandito yung problem nasa gitna yung problem, right? I have to solve that problem within the time limit, sabi natin 10 minutes. Tapos binabasa ko yung problem and I'm seeing the timer 9:59, 9:58, 9:57 and nagtatry ko talaga, tinitingnan ko yung problem, nagtatry ko siyang intindihin. At nakikita ko 8 minutes na lang. Nagrattle ako. Yun yung live coding. Nakaka-stress siya. It's very stressful. If hindi ka prepared, yeah, it's very stressful. So, yun. Pero this is not all bad kasi yun yung con niya, it's very stressful, right? Pero yung pros niya, this type of interview is, sabihin natin 10 minutes yung binigay sa'yo na time, right? 10 minutes yung binigay sa'yo na time. Within that 10 minutes, may idea ka na whether or not you'll get to the next stage. Like, for example, like my idea, like, oh shit, I think I failed that. I think I did badly. Or I did well. Parang ganun. Yun. Parang ganun. Like, within that 10 minutes, may idea ka na. So, like, mabilis yung feedback. So, like, you're stressed, yes, pero ang feedback ang bilis. Like, within 10 minutes, alam mo na agad if pumasa ka ba or hindi. Pero yung other one, yung alternative is take-home exam. Mga take-home exams, mga project-based take-home assignments. So, ito naman, like, yung interviewer, they will give you, like, a piece of paper, my document, na nandun yung features na gusto nila. Like, my features, tapos kailangan mo mag-build ng app based sa specification na binigay nila. Tapos, they will give you, like, 2 weeks if they're generous, 2 weeks. Minsan, actually, mostly mga days lang. Pero, if the company is generous, they will usually give you a longer time. Alam niyo yung Gap Labs na company? Yung Gap Labs, they gave me 2 days. 2 days lang binigay na. Grabe naman sila. Yun. Pero, yun yung advantage nito is like, it's less stressful. Diba? Kasi like, you do it at your own pace, tapos you can do it anytime. Diba? Ano siya? Chill ka lang, chill. Yung disadvantage lang nito, yung con nito is, let's say, you fail. Hindi ka pinapasa sa next stage. Tapos 2 weeks yung binigay sa'yo. Tapos it took you 2 weeks to make the thing, the app, di ba? It took you 2 weeks to make the project. You just wasted 2 weeks. Di ba? You just wasted 2 weeks para lang mag-fail ka. Di ba? Like, parang yun yung con nito. It's like, yes, less stressful siya, pero ang bagal ng feedback bago mo malaman if ano. Kasi yung 2 weeks na yun, you could have interviewed to other companies, di ba? Instead of building this app na pinapagawa nila. Yun. Typically, actually, no, hindi typically. Very rarely, they will let you choose kung anong gusto mo, either live coding ba or project-based. May mga companies that will actually let you choose. Pero most of them, wala kang choice. Wala kang choice. Like, kung binigay sa'yo live coding, wala kang choice. Kung binigay sa'yo take-home, wala kang choice. Pero, again, very rarely, merong mga companies na they actually give you a choice. Yun, so like, it's like a pick your poison kind of thing. Gusto mo ba ng stress, pero mabilis yung feedback, or gusto mo ba ng less stressful, pero mabagal yung feedback? Nasa sa inyo na yan. Tapos, let's say, again, binasbasan ka ni Lord, nakapasa ka sa technical interview, the hardest of them all. Yun. Yung next step is usually the behavioral. Optional lang to. may mga companies na nagbibigay ng behavioral, may mga companies na wala, depende to sa company. Dito naman, it's easy. Madali lang din to. It's very unlikely you will fail this. Pero yung requirement dito is kailangan decente ka na tao. Like if you're a decent human being, you know how to work in a team, di ba? Like hindi malaki yung ulo mo ba? You're humble, you know how to work in a team. Ano pa ba? You know how to communicate, lalo na if may conflict, di ba? Alam mo, like conflict resolution. Again, these are things na you can't really learn this overnight. It's more like character building to sa'yo. Like if you're decente ka na tao, hindi ka mahihirapan dito. Pero yung mga, yung iba dyan, alams na. Good luck sa inyo. Yun. Pero pag decente ka na tao, this is easy. Tapos, yung last naman is final interview. Sa final interview, this is actually my favorite. Ito yung dito talaga ako ginaganahan sa final interview. Kasi dito kausap mo dito yung highest position sa company. So like CEO, CTO, technical lead, or basta sila, VP of engineering, sila yung kausap mo dito. Tapos lang to conversational. This is so fun. Kasi nag-uusap lang kayo, parang nagkakape lang kayo ba? Tapos like you're just talking about life, talking about tech, parang ganun. It's like so chill. Dito sa final interview, yung company, they already have an idea if they want to hire you or not. Okay? Like, base sa technical interview, base sa behavioral initial interview, they already have an idea. Like, may idea na sila, like, what type of person you are, and then do they want to hire, kung ano ba, like, ano yung strengths mo and weaknesses mo. Pero, sa final interview, yung hinahanap nila dito is like, ganito. Kasi diba, sa tech kasi, you can't work on it alone. There's a reason kung bakit people are forming companies, right? And they're forming teams. Kasi yung mga problems hindi na try nilang isolve, mahirap. So they have to delegate tasks to people, right? So, yun. So, imagine na ganito yan. Like, isang company, para siyang puzzle. Puzzle, right? Mas kada member ng company, it's like a puzzle piece, right? Puzzle piece yan. Kada member ng company, they're like doing something that completes the puzzle. Tapos, sa final interview, they're trying to see if ikaw, the applicant, fits yung puzzle nila. Okay? So kung dito, if ever mag-fail ka sa final interview, okay lang yun. It's okay. You know why it's okay? Kasi even if ma-hire ka dito and you don't fit the puzzle, you're gonna hate the job. You're gonna hate your job kasi the way you work is different from how they operate as a company. So importante din to na you have to really consider this like if cultural fit ka ba sa kanila. Like ako for example, di ba, like if you've seen my work experience, yung preference ko are startups. So I prefer to work in small teams. Yung preference ko is startup culture, meaning flat structure. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng flat structure? So like dev, QA, PM, mga positions ba? Tapos kami, directly namin, above sa amin, CTO agad. Yun yung flat structure. Kasi usually sa mga companies, once they get big, and yun nangyayari kasi dyan is like CEO, CTO, tapos VP of engineering, tapos may tech lead, tapos may mga manager, tapos ikaw nandito ka sa pinakababa. yun yung nangyayari like sa mga malalaking companies. And ako, I don't want to work in those kasi I don't like bureaucracy. Mas preferred ko yung casual, yung informal na parang like chill lang, very chill. Like pwede kong makausap yung CTO anytime, like hey, CTO, hop tayo sa call. Parang ganun. Hindi ka guys sa mga big companies na it's like you need someone's permission to get the higher ups permission, na may permission. Yan, magkaano kayo, telephone game kayo. Yun. Again, depende to sa preference. So that's just my preference. So that's why yung mga hinahanap ko na companies are those that fits what I prefer. Nakigets niyo ba? Like, kaya sa final interview, if you've ever failed this, it's okay. It's okay. Yun. Tapos, again, if nabasbasan ka ni Lord, you pass the final interview, they will give you an offer. So yung offer, usually contract lang yan, tapos yung salary. No one really reads the contract. I don't read the contract. Yung tinitingnan ko lang doon is gaano kalaki yung bigay nila sa akin. Tapos if you accept the offer, congratulations, may trabaho kayo. Yun lang naman, di ba? Parang it's simple. Simple yung tingnan, di ba? Like once you lay it out. Pero how do I say it? Typical interview process to, this doesn't apply to all companies. Ito yung average lang. May mga companies na 6 yung steps before ka makabigyan ng offer. May mga companies na 4, may mga companies na 2. I'll give you an example. Yung first ko na internship, DICE, 6 steps. Yung second internship ko, Iridify, 2 lang. Tapos diretso na offer. Tapos yung current company ko, 4. Parang ganun. This depends on the company. Just be prepared. Prep na lang sa technical prep, sa behavioral if kailangan nyo. Yun. Tapos yun, why are tech interviews structured this way? Diba? Like, bakit ganun yung structure nila na dapat initial, tapos may technical, diba? Yun, if we can answer this question, malalaman natin what are they looking for. So, they're looking for 2 things. Dalawa lang actually yung hinahanap nila. Hindi nila hinahanap yung wait lang ha. So they're looking for 2 things. Number 1 is problem solving. Tapos how you communicate yung solution. Number 2 is proof of skills. Don't worry, okay maglala. I'm gonna expand on this too. So problem solving, ano lang siya? Yeah, solving a problem. Solve ka ng problem. Yung problem solving, sorry, the next slide go. Don't worry, I'm gonna teach you guys how to develop this skill. So yung numero 1, like if you want to develop yung skills na problem solving that companies are looking for, in fact, ito yung core ng tech. Ito yung core ng tech, problem solving. Like people think na it's the technology na ginagamit mo. No, it's problem solving. Like if you can solve the problem without relying on tech, okay lang. What's important is you solve the problem. Gets nyo ba? Like, tech is just a tool to solve the problem. Hindi siya yung core ng tech. Core of tech is problem solving. Yun. So, if you want to develop this skill, yung numero 1 talaga is stop relying on AI. So, don't worry, hindi naman ako anti-AI. In fact, I use AI in the job. Pero like, hindi ako anti-AI, okay? Pero there's a reason why this is numero 1. Let's say, for example, di ba, students kayo. Yung professor nyo, they're gonna give you a problem. Tapos ikaw, student ka, right, student? You want to get an A. Di ba? Gusto mo ng mataas na grade. So, binigyan ka ng problem ng professor mo, instinct mo is to like, copy the problem, paste kay ChatGPT. ChatGPT generates the thing, tapos yun, may solution na binigay si ChatGPT. Ano yung gagawin ng student? Kukunin niya yung solution, ipa-paraphrase niya actually, ipa-paraphrase niya yun, tapos bibigyan niya kay professor. Tapos professor gives back an A. Di ba? Kasi nasolve niya yung problem. Tapos, yun. So, yung professor naman, they give another problem. They give another problem sa student. Yung student, yung instinct niya, again, gusto niya mataas yung grade niya. So, yung ginawa niya, again, is punta kay ChatGPT. ChatGPT generates the solution. Before niya i-copy, paraphrase muna. Yung paraphrase solution na generate ni ChatGPT, yun yung bibigyan niya kay professor. And professor gives an A. Di ba? Nakaka-addict to kasi nakaka-addict yung experience na yan kasi like you're getting high grades. So, yung question ko ngayon, sino sa dalawa, yung student or yung AI, yung nade-develop yung problem solving skills? Sino yung nagsasolve ng problem? Di ba? It's like AI. Di ba? Ang dami nagsasabi AI. Yeah, it's ikaw student, you're training the AI to be better at solving problems. Pero ikaw, nga. Why? Because you're not trying to develop the skill. Di ba? Yun. Kaya, if you want to develop problem-solving skills, you have to do it yourself. Ikaw mismo yung try mo i-solve yung problem. But again, don't worry, I'm gonna teach you guys. Okay? Okay yung mag-alala. So, problem solving, it's hard. Mahirap yung problem solving, okay? But it's only hard if first time mo nakita yung problem. First time mo siya tinry i-solve. Okay? What does this mean? Like, pag nakita mo na kasi yung problem before, tapos alam mo na yung pattern to solve these types of problems. Intuitive to intuitive. Makikita mo lang yung problem, alam mo na agad yung solution. Pero like, again, if first time mo pa nakita yung problem, mahihirapan ka. And that's okay. Ito lang yung gusto ko talagang sabihin sa inyo. It's okay na mahirapan kayo pag makita nyo yung problem. First time yung makita, it's okay. That's completely normal. Okay? Hindi dahil bobo kayo. Okay? Hindi dahil na whatever thing na yung brain mo tries to trick you into thinking, hindi dahil doon. The reason kung bakit nahihirapan kayo, kasi first time nyo nakita tong problem na to. Gets niyo ba? Like makita niyo yung classmate nyo na binigyan ka ng problem ng professor, yung classmate nyo, boom, instant na solve niya agad. Ikaw, grabe, ang galing niya, genius yung classmate ko. Ako, parang bobo ko, di ko na-solve agad. Yun, but again, it's not because genius yung classmate mo, it's not because bobo ka, it's because first time mo nakita yung problem na to. Don't worry, again, tuturo ko sa inyo how to develop problem-solving skills. So how do you develop problem-solving skills? Number 1, kuha lang kayo ng problem for a specific topic, time yourself. Bigyan nyo ng time, 10-20 minutes, try nyo i-solve yung problem. Actually, try it yourself. But this is the important one. If hindi nyo na-solve yung problem, tingnan nyo yung solution. Tingnan nyo yung solution or punta kayo sa YouTube, tingnan nyo how other people solve it. Like yung i-walk through nila, paano nila sinolve yun. Tingnan nyo yung solution. Try to understand the solution. Okay? Do not, importante ito, wag nyong i-memorize yung solution. Try nyo i-answer. Why does this solution solve the problem? This is like the most important bit. Yung next one, what is the pattern for solving this type of problems? Pattern to ha, pattern. What does this mean? Like, itong pattern na to, hindi mo to magagawa the first time you do it. Like, di ba, you try for step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Hindi nyo ma-develop yung pattern recognition skills nyo to solve these types of problems on the first try. Kasi yung brain nyo kasi, you're trying to train your brain into seeing yung mga type, itong specific topic, yung mga problems on this specific topic. You're trying to train your brain to see these problems, tapos yung mga solutions, paano ba nila na-solve yung mga topics na to? Tinatry nyo i-train yung brain nyo. So kailangan itong ulit-ulitin. Kasi you have to give your brain time to see the patterns. Hindi mo to ma-develop in the first try. You have to do it again and then again and again. Pag nasanay na yung brain nyo, I'm gonna tell you guys, it's like magical. Magical yung mangyayari, guys. Like, makita nyo yung problem and you're like, I know this. Alam ko to. Boom! Instant! Alam nyo na agad. Like, even di nyo pa nasulat yung solution, alam nyo na agad, like, how to solve it. Ganun yan. Like, if your brain can see the pattern, actually, like, this problem na nahirapan kayo, madali na lang pala to. So in step 5, find a different problem, same topic, go back to step 2. Diba? Step 2, ano yung step 2? Try to solve the problem. Ulit-ulitin nyo lang to. So ano ba itong mga problems na to? Like, usually, yung pinakamadali dito is DS, data structures. Like, for example, arrays, nahirapan kayo sa arrays. Nahirapan kayo mag-solve ng mga problems related to arrays. Do this until maging intuitive siya, makita niyo yung problem about arrays, boom, instant. Alam niyo na agad yung solution. Nahirapan kayo sa recursion. Same, do this. Nahirapan kayo sa dynamic programming, sa trees. Do this. Ganun lang yan. The thing about problem solving kasi, like yung mga complex na problems, usually yun yung mga ginagawa sa work, it's complex problems. Pero like yung mga complex problems kasi, it's just combination lang siya ng mga simple problems. If you know how to solve this simple problem, alam mo paano i-solve tong simple problem na to. Itong complex problem na to is easy. Kasi alam mo how to solve yung mga simple problems that consist this complex problem. So, kaya sa like how do you develop this? Yung pinaka talaga dito is yung DS, data structure foundation to ng computer science. Like halos lahat ng problems you can solve it via DS, data structures. Mga simple stuff, yung simple stuff like arrays, recursions, yun yung mga basic stuff, right? Yun yung foundation for intermediate stuff like trees, tries. Tapos foundation ng mga complex stuff pa, like yung mga graphs na, Yung mga ganun. Yeah, pero like, you have to start somewhere. Tapos yung mga simple problems, dun kayo magsisimula. Unless madali sa inyo yung mga simple problems, hindi nyo masasolve yung intermediate problems. Nagigets nyo ba? Kasi yung intermediate problems, it's just a combination of simple problems. Tapos yung mga complex problems, it's just a combination of intermediate and simple problems. Yun lang naman. So like, that's why it's very important to develop the skill of problem solving simple problems. So yung recommended resources, again, don't worry, guys, di naman ako gahaman. Recommended resources to develop this neat code. So neat code, meron doon roadmap. Grabe, ang laking tulong nito. I actually use this to prep for technical interviews. Yun, like may roadmap doon. Start ka sa arrays, tapos eventually pupunta ka sa dynamic programming, eventually sa recursions, eventually sa trees. Pero may ano siya, may actual roadmap, may ma-follow ka ba. Tapos sundin nyo lang yun. Sundin nyo lang yun. Pero yung issue ko lang sa neat code kasi minsan kulang yung problems na nandun. Kulang yung problems, so hindi siya enough para magets ng brain mo sometimes. Sometimes hindi siya enough. So pwede rin kayo mapunta sa leet code. It's like for example, nahihirapan kayo sa dynamic programming, tapos kulang yung question sa leet code, kunin nyo lang yung dynamic programming, right? Punta kayo sa leet code, search kayo by tag, dynamic programming, tapos kunin mo yung problem, and then repeat nyo lang. Diba? Try to solve the problem. Kung di nyo ma-solve, look at the solution, tapos ulit-ulitin nyo lang until maging intuitive siya. And that is problem solving. Diba? Hindi naman siya ganun ka, like, yeah, people like to think na it's hard, but it's not that hard. Yun. So ito naman, this is an equally important skill sa problem solving. Diba nakita kanina na like, diba they're looking for two things, problem solving, how you communicate the solution, and it's like on the same level kasi they're equally important. Itong communicating the solution, this is really important. They're trying to, yung mga companies, like, hinahanap talaga nila to. Like, yes, magaling ka mag-solve ng problems, pero you also know how to communicate, like, paano mo na-solve yung problem. Typically, kasi sa tech, diba, sa mga, the reason na may companies, diba, they're building teams, you're not working alone. Kasi yung mga problems are complex. The problems are complex. So, let's say, for example, ikaw, dev ka, and then merong product manager, you're trying to talk sa product manager. Yung product manager, they're non-technical. Hindi sila technical na mga tao. Yung job ng product manager is to gather requirements sa clients, sa users, gather sila ng requirements, tapos yung requirements, they will prepare a doc, tapos ibibigay nila yun sa dev. Tapos yung dev, yung trabaho ng dev, alam niyo yung trabaho ng dev? Is to say, this is shit. Hindi to posible. This is not possible. Pero you can't say that. Sa product manager, you can't say that. You have to be able to communicate bakit mo naisip na shit yung requirements. And then, not only that, you also have to be able to communicate to offer an alternative solution. Diba? As you're talking to someone non-technical, so you have to watch your language. Hindi ka pwedeng ng mga theory stuff, anything related to tech, like, you have to use simple English, kumbaga. And this is like a skill. This is a skill na hinahanap talaga ng companies kasi this is like what you're actually doing on the job. Tapos hindi lang product managers like that. Okay, that's a non-technical person. But what if you're talking to someone technical? Diba? You're talking to someone technical. Let's say dev ka. I'm sorry, like, I'm giving examples na puro dev. Dev kasi ako, so like, I don't know the experience of other, yung ibang nasa industry. Pero let's say dev ka, matagal ka na sa company. Like, you have like, let's say 1 year, 2 years, matagal ka na sa company. Tapos, so, may familiar ka sa system na ginagawa nyo kasi you've been working on it for a while. Tapos may papasok na bagong hire, like intern, junior dev, like bago pa sila. Like, they've never seen the system. They've never worked on it. Right? So, may tinatawag na onboarding process sa tech. Onboarding process is tinatransfer mo yung alam mo to the people na hindi nila gaano kaalam, hindi nila gets yung system. Like, you cannot tell them the nitty-gritty stuff. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin yun. Hindi nila maintindihan, hindi nila mag-gets kasi wala silang background doon. So, yung skill na to, like, you have to develop the skill of breaking down complex things into simple, digestible, simple English to someone na, yes, technical sila, pero you have to think as if na wala silang alam. Like, wala talaga silang alam, wala silang background. Yun. And this is like what they're looking for sa interviews. Like, di ba nakita nyo, napansin nyo, initial interview is HR recruiter. Initial interview is non-technical people. Tinetest agad nila, initial interview pa lang, how you communicate with someone na walang idea sa tech. Pangalawang interview, technical interview. You're talking with someone technical. Yung interviewer, dev, usually dev din sila. Di ba? Tapos, behavioral interview. Again, you're talking to someone non-technical. Usually, kausap mo dito, HR ulit. Tapos, pagdating sa final interview, you're talking to the CTO. Someone that can see the bigger picture. Di ba? So, they're both technical. Actually, yung technical knowledge nila, grabe. Pero like, they're also thinking about the business side. So, yun. Like, ito yung hinahanap nila. How you communicate yung thought process mo. But don't worry, again, I'm gonna show you guys how to develop a skill. Number one, it's the same sa kanina, problem solving. Get a problem for a specific topic. Get a camera and record yourself. Yes, you gotta get used to it. And then verbalize your thought process and then repeat. Wala kang choice. Like if you wanna improve on it, then wala kang choice to do it repeatedly until masanay ka. So ako, what did I do to develop this skill? I did Twitch. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na you guys should do Twitch, pero just be creative. Be creative on paano mo ma-develop tong skill na to. So the thing about Twitch kasi, parang siyang YouTube, di ba? YouTube is like, gagawa ka ng video, pero usually recorded kasi, tapos ine-edit mo yung videos. Pero yung Twitch, it's live. Everything is live. Nagla-live code ako sa Twitch, and I'm talking while I'm coding. Tapos may camera. And I just do that. And ako ngayon, more than 80 na ata ako. 80 streams na ako. More than 80 na ako. So like, that's why, nakikita nyo, like, I'm quite comfortable with a camera on me. Kasi I've been doing this for so long. Yun. So, yun lang. Like, this will be hard the first time. Of course, like any skill, it's hard the first time. Like, it's very uncomfortable. Pero, just do it. Again, repeat. I-train nyo lang yung brain nyo na masanay. That yung brain nyo will ultimately, like, once you do it enough, your brain will think it's normal. And it's like the most normal thing. It's like breathing. Like, once you've done it enough. Yun lang naman. So, yun. How to develop that skill. Yun. Tapos, this is like the second thing companies are looking for. Proof of skills. Proof of skills. Di ba? Like, nasabi ko kanina, tech is a skill-based company. So, kung napansin nyo kanina, di ba, si Carpenter A, si Carpenter B, si Carpenter A, yes, may theoretical knowledge siya, pero wala siyang proof na may skills siya. Si Carpenter B, konti lang yung theoretical knowledge niya. Yung proof niya is yung experience niya. Because he's done it before. And nagawa niya, na-prove niya na kaya niyang gawin. Yun. So, pero what if you lack work experience? So, if you lack work experience, yung proof of skills mo are personal projects. So, let's say, for example, pwede, like, again, depende to sa strategy nyo. May mga kilala ko na devs na may strategy talaga sila. Like, for example, gusto mo makapasok sa company na e-commerce application. Like, let's say, Lazada. Gusto mo makapasok sa Amazon. If ikaw yung Amazon, di ba, you're more likely to hire someone na naka-build na ng e-commerce apps. Nagigets nyo, like, kung nakalagay dun sa resume mo, puro e-commerce apps, tinarget mo ba yung e-commerce na market? Di ba, mas malaki yung chance na makuha ka nila. Tapos, if, for example, a search engine, di ba, like, plano mo pumasok sa Google, like, then build ka ng mga stuff related sa kung ano yung tinatry nilang i-work. Di ba, like, again, depende ito sa strategy nyo. Pero companies are more likely to hire someone na may experience na sa kung ano yung ginagawa nila. Like on Netflix, it's more like if naka-work ka na sa mga anything related sa video codec, streaming, Yun, mga ganun. Yun, pero like, okay, next slide. Sorry, nawala yung thought process ko. So next slide, following tutorials is not equal to projects, okay? Yung, let's say for example, my YouTube video, like 6 hours nakalagay doon how to build an e-commerce app. Tapos ikaw, nagko-code ka lang, fina-follow mo yung tutorials, after 6 hours, may e-commerce app ka. That's not equal to a project, okay? Actually, pag nandun ka sa interview, it's so easy to tell. Yung mga interviewers, they will just roll their eyes. I-roll nila yung mata nila kasi it's obvious. It's so obvious. They will just, ipoprobe ka lang kasi nila nito eh. Ipoprobe ka lang nila, like they will ask you about the project. Pag hindi kasi ikaw yung gumawa mismo ng project, like it's easy to tell if ikaw ba talaga yung gumawa or did you just follow a tutorial or binuhat ka ba ng team member mo. So, yun lang naman, like reminder ko lang sa inyo na if you want, yung projects na kailangan yung i-build are projects you built yourself, okay? Yun yung mga ilalagay nyo sa resume nyo. Kasi they actually do ask you, pag nilagay nyo sa resume nyo, they will ask you about it. Anything na ilagay nyo sa resume nyo, it's fair game. Pag naglagay ka dun ng OOP, they will ask you about OOP, Object-Oriented Program. Kaya sa resume ko, walang OOP. Walang OOP sa resume ko kasi I don't want them to ask me about it. Like, yeah, depende yun sa strategy nyo. Like, you can tailor your resume para ma-expect mo ba yung questions na i-ask nila. Kasi yung i-ask nila na questions is usually kung ano yung nasa resume nyo. Ilagay mo yung project yung sa resume nyo, nag-follow ka lang ng tutorial, GG ka. Yun na yung sasabi ko, GG. Good game, well played. Yun. So, why do we build projects? Simplify lang natin. Why build projects? Number one is to learn something. So, kung may gusto kang aralin, let's say for example, AWS, gusto mo mag-aral, gusto mo maging cloud engineer, so you want to learn AWS. So, how do you learn AWS? You do isolated learning. You build a project na AWS lang. Do not try to learn everything at once. Wag kayong gumawa ng project na AWS, tas may Azure, tas may Jenkins, tas may ano pa ba, like Circle CI. Like, no, don't do that. If you're gonna build something to learn, just build a project, a simple project, tas yung specific na technology nyo lang na gustong i-learn. Let's ulit-ulitin nyo lang yun. Build, like the more you do it, again, the more na you build something, the more na masanay ka, right? Magiging second nature na lang. Anything building with AWS, sabihin natin, madali na lang yun. So now you can start learning other things. Let's say, for example, you want to learn Django. So yung gagawin mo is like, again, isolated learning. Yung main thing na technology na sa ginagawa mo is just Django. Pero alam mo na yung AWS because you've learned it before. You've done isolated learning sa AWS. So pwede mong ilagay yung AWS while you're learning Django. You know why? Kasi you're not learning AWS. Diba? Nag-a-add ka lang ng complexity sa app mo, pero you're not learning two things at once. You're actually just learning Django. Gets nyo ba? This is like how you learn to develop the skills to build complex apps. Kasi yung mga complex apps, ang dami kasi may lalagay ka pa ng database, maglalagay kang Postgres or MongoDB, di ba? Meron pang what authentication yung gagamitin mo, like mag-JWT ka ba or whatever. Di ba? Like, ang daming things na kailangan mong i-learn. Pero like yung mistake talaga that people do is they build something complex from the start. I'm like, no, wala kang matututunan. Mahihirapan ka lang. You'll just be confused. You're not helping yourself. Kumbaga, like if you want to learn things and learn it efficiently, learn one thing at a time. So bigyan ko lang kayo ng example. Ito yung example projects ko, like Life in Weeks. The reason I built this thing, this is like very simple lang to na site. The reason I built this, kasi gusto ko mag-practice ng TypeScript. That's it. Punta kayo sa project na to, you will see it's just TypeScript. Go 50ville. It's the same thing. Like I built this site, API to, in Go 50ville, it's an API. And the reason I built this, kasi during this time, I was learning Go. So while I was building the project, yung documentation is like nandito sa ibang tab. Nandito yung VS Code ko or yung editor ko. Sorry. Dito yung documentation. So like, I'm building this thing, binabasa ko yung documentation while learning. And I'm only learning one thing. And it's like so efficient. Like, ang bilis mong matuto pag ganun ang ginawa niyo. Yun. Another one, why build projects, is to solve a problem. Di ba yung core ng tech is problem solving. So, think of a problem that you have and try to build something that solves that problem. Ito yung meat talaga ng resume nyo. Like, yung resume nyo, if you have a project that solves a problem, mapupunta agad siya sa mataas, sa ano ba? Sa stack na maybe i-hire nila. This is what companies are looking for. If kaya mong makabuild ng projects that can solve problems. And it doesn't have to be complex. Again, it doesn't have to be complex. As long as it's a problem that you have. Like, I'll give you guys an example. Merong couple, mag-asawa na devs. May pamilya sila. May mag-asawa sila na dev. Tapos, yung problem nila is, mahirap i-maintain yung friends nila, yung friend group nila. Mahirap ba makipag-meet? Kasi di ba, like, pag adults na kasi kayo, ngayon, you're in university, so like, it's easy to meet people. You have a reason to meet. Di ba? Kasi like, nag-study kayo, tapos punta kayo sa isang place, which is the university, tapos doon kayo nag-meet, right? Pero pag adults na kasi kayo, you don't really have a reason to meet people anymore. Kasi like, you're busy with work, you're busy with life, you're busy with adulting, you're busy, kung may pamilya ka na, you're busy with kids, family mo, yung wife mo, or yung husband mo, right? So like, wala kang time to meet other people. Like, it's harder to meet people. It's even harder to maintain. Kung may friend group ka man, it's really hard to maintain yung friends mo. Ganun yun pag, yun yung problem nila, yung couple na yun, dalawa silang devs, yun yung problem nila. So what they did was, they built an app, a scheduling app. So, parang, itong app na to, you create an event, tapos, pagkatapos mag-create ng event, ino-notify yung friends nila kung gusto ba nilang sumama sa event. Like, for example, birthday party ng anak ko. Right? Tapos ino-notify yung friends nila, tapos yung friends nila has a choice to say yes or no. Tapos kung yes, dun sila. If no, hindi. Tapos kung malapit na yung event, ino-notify ulit yung mga nagsabi ng yes, ino-notify ulit sila, hey, bukas na yung event or mamaya yung event. Di ba? Like, it's like, yung binild nila, it's so simple. Like, it's solving a problem, and it's solving like one very specific problem. Na yun, nahihirapan sila. And it's like a problem that they have. Kasi if you think about yung mga apps ngayon, you think about like yung mga famous apps ngayon. Like, let's say for example, YouTube. Di ba? The core of YouTube, like if you think about it, ano ba yung tinatry i-solve na problem ni YouTube? Like, why is YouTube even built? Diba? Bakit tayo as users are using YouTube? Diba? They're trying to solve something. Tapos they've solved it, kaya we're using it. And the same thing, Facebook, what are they trying to solve? Why are people using Facebook? Diba? So like, yun. Like, ito yung hinahanap ng companies kasi this is what they're doing. They're building things that solves people's problems. And, because it's solving a problem, people pay for it. Like, yun. So, yun lang naman. Like, if you have this, diretso, like, preferred kaagad ng company. And yung isa pa is like, if yung app mo has users, if yung app mo may users, oh my God, yun. Yun talaga yung hinahanap ng companies. Like, if you can build an app na magkakaroon ng users, I'm telling you, that thing is so hard. Even ako, hindi ko pa na-achieve yan. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure kung may na-build na ba ako na my users. Pero it's so hard to do that. Pero you know what's even harder? What's even harder na if you really want to impress yung mga companies, if you really want to impress them, build something with users and scale it. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng scale? It means na you have a lot of users. Like 1,000 users is very different from 1,000,000 users. Like yung complexity ng app mo is like very different. If you can build something na may ganun karaming users, yeah, diretso, like immediate hire ka. Like, I know na may isang student pa lang siya, tapos wala siyang degree, high school pa lang siya ng high school. Ng Apple, yung iPhone ba, yung gallery ng iPhone was shit. it was shit. Like para sa kanya, like, so he built something that's better than the yung gallery viewer, yung photo viewer ba ng Apple, and then pinublish niya sa App Store, and then people used it, and actually a lot of people used it. Na instant hire siya. Instant hire, like no interview. Like this is like what they're looking for. Kasi pag magawa mo yun, like yeah, you've done something that other devs like are like struggling to do. Mahirap siya. Yun. Example lang ito like if you're curious about the problem na tinatry ko i-solve, you can look at this project. Pero yun lang naman, build projects. Why do you build projects? To learn something or to solve a problem. Alam ko ngayon, like, you guys probably will not have a problem na gusto nyong i-solve. Na-experience ko na yan na like, ano yung, wala naman akong problema eh. Diba? Wala naman akong problema. So like, if you're struggling to find a problem that you're trying to solve, that's okay. Don't force it. At some point, the more experience you have, the more nyo na makikita yung mga problems na to. Pero like, now you can focus on just building stuff to learn. You can focus like, dun na muna kayo. Like, until you can find a problem na problem yun talaga, and you feel strongly about it, you can focus on building projects to learn. Yung dalawang internships, yung 2 internships ko, yung mga projects na binild ko is just to learn. Tas nakuha naman ako. So like, yeah. Yung importante lang talaga is you have projects. Kasi yung projects mo are proof of skills. Like, kung alam nyo lang, yung first resume ko nakalagay dun sa work experience. Diba? Like, work experience, puro lang yan projects. Yung nilagay ko. I'm not even joking. Tapos sa interview, yun lang yung pinag-usapan namin. Yung projects na ginawa ko. And because I built those projects myself, I was able to defend it. Diba? I was able to talk about yung mga, ano yung stuff na nahirapan ako, ano yung stuff that excites me. Diba? Yung mga stuff that I've learned, why did I use this technology? Yun yung pinaprobe nila eh. Like, if you've actually built the thing yourself, and yun. Tapos, recommended resources is just GitHub. Kung ayaw nyo ng GitHub, there's GitLab, there's Bitbucket, meron ding Gogs, pero just use GitHub. Yun yung default. As ito, reminder, like last reminder ko na to sa inyo, stick to learning one programming language for at least 6 months. Ano kasi, sa YouTube kasi, like, if you go to YouTube, tapos mag-search kayo ng videos about like learning a language, di ba, meron dun, like, learn C++ in 6 hours, learn JavaScript in 4 hours. And I'm like, gets ko naman, like, why those videos exist, di ba, like, maybe like, ganun lang, tapos you can learn the syntax, pero like, actually learning the language, no way in hell na kaya mo yung ma-learn in 6 months, in 6 hours. So 6 months is the Goldilocks zone. Like parang you learn enough, you know enough yung basics ng programming language. Like by this point, ano na to eh, pag umabot ka kasi sa point na to, you can code in that language without thinking about the syntax. Kasi matagal na eh, like nakailang projects ka nito, 6 months, ilang projects mo gagawa mo niyan. Diba? Like if you're building, let's say, a new project every 2 weeks, diba? Like every 2 weeks may bago kang project, diba? So like ilang projects na yung magagawa mo niyan. Like maraming projects yung magagawa like within 6 months. Tapos pag yun yung ano, like stick to learning one. Again, wag niyo pag nag-try kasi kayo mag-learn ng multiple programming language, like for example, try nyo mag-learn JavaScript ngayon. Week na to, week 1 JavaScript, week 2 Java, week 3 Python. Good luck. GG yung brain nyo. Like you're trying to learn a lot of things at once. Don't do that. Wala kayong matututunan. Pag nandun kayo sa technical interview, yung mangyayari niyan is, di ba, yung sa live coding part, may problem dito, tapos yung try nyo mag-solve ng problem, tapos yung nasulat nyo na, like yung language na ginamit nyo, sabihin natin is JavaScript, pero yung nasulat nyo na syntax is Java. Yun yung mangyayari. Your brain will be confused. So like, if you want, again, give yung brain mo time to take in the information. A programming language, like learning one is like, it's complex. Like, mga 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years, mga ganun. By this point, you can consider yourself intermediate na. Ano ba yung intermediate programmer? So an intermediate programmer on a specific language, like sabi natin intermediate Python dev, kaya nilang mag-work on any project na wala silang background and they can contribute. Like for example, yung nangyari sa akin, like for example, second internship ko is a fintech company. Fintech. Wala akong knowledge about finance. Pagpasok ko doon, nga ako. Nga. Like wala, sorry, may nag-raise ng hand. Oh, may nag-raise ng hand. Oh, was that an accident lang? Okay, maybe accident lang yan.
Siguro.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Siguro.
Okay. So, yun. Yun, di ba? Wala akong knowledge sa finance. Pero, because familiar ako sa Python, that was the language that they were using sa company na yan, familiar ako sa Django, I've built so many projects using Django. Yun yung stack nila. Django, Django REST, Django FSM, polymorphism, Django polymorphism. Yun yung stack nila sa Eridify. Familiar ako sa tech part. Most of my time, ginamit ko to learn the field, yung finance part. And I was doing okay, di ba? Yung onboarding process ko nun was just 1 week. Walang training, no training, 1 week, bam. After 1 week, I was already pushing code to production. Production ready na yung code ko. Kasi again, like yung tech side, alam ko na. Yung mahirap na lang is yung field. Yun yung like imagine if nandun ka sa field tapos hindi mo alam yung tech part, tapos hindi mo rin alam yung field. Di ba like again, malilito yung brain mo. So, yun yung advantage of like sticking to learning one language is like as long as they're working on that language, you can work any field at any field. Yeah. Tapos yung mastery naman, tinatawag nilang mga masters of the programming language. It takes you like maybe a decade, more than a decade. Pag master ka na kasi, ito na yung tipo na you're so good at the language na you can actually contribute sa language itself. Like yung Python na language, you can actually contribute sa Python. It's like to give features, to fix bugs sa Python na language itself. Yun yung mastery, like you know so much about the language that you can actually, pero yeah, yun lang naman. Yeah. So, yun, tip ko lang sa inyo is like, just focus on like learning like a language and then stick to it for 6 months. Yung specialization na part, you can figure it out in the future. Yung sa akin, it took me, yung first internship ko, we were using PHP Laravel. Sa first internship ko, dun ko na-realize how much I hate PHP. I'm sorry guys, I really did not like the experience of using PHP. Dun ako nag-decide, I think gusto ko maging Python dev. Tapos nag-focus na ako sa Python. Yun. Until today, I'm still using Python. Yun. Tapos resources that helped me prep for this talk. Yun. Public speaking stuff. Then again, kung curious kayo how to like speak, ito, like I really recommend these videos. Like it really helped me. Tapos where to find me? Wala akong socials. I have no LinkedIn. If i-search nyo yung pangalan ko sa internet, you will not find me. So you can find me at GitHub. Tapos may Twitch ako. I do live coding on Twitch. Tapos cafes around Tacloban. I really like coffee hopping. Tapos cafes outside Tacloban. Ito yung recommended ko talaga na cafe. Cafe Dine, Tolosa. It's so good. Ano yun? Tawag nito? Correctly priced. Dito kasi sa Tacloban, overpriced. Sa Cafe Dine, correctly priced. Ang sarap ng food doon, ang sarap ng coffee, and it's so cheap. Yeah, correctly priced doon. Mas maganda yung ambience nila. Yeah, PR ako nila ngayon. Ako yung PR nila ngayon. Yun. If you have any questions, ito yung business mail ko, ito yung business phone number ko. I'm a busy man. Di ba, busy ako. Like, I have a job. Pero like, if you want to connect in the future, my time is not free. So, yung gagawin nyo lang, i-text nyo lang ako or email nyo lang ako, hey, MJ, state nyo yung concern nyo or yung problem nyo. Can you help me with this? Yada, yada. Tapos, can I invite you to a coffee? Yun lang naman. Like, invite me to a coffee and then, usap tayo. Yun. If you wanna connect in the future. And
May I please call Sir Sabit? Hello, Sir Sabit, are you there?
mic test. YouTube.
Hello po.
Hello.
Medyo blurry yung camera mo. Oh, okay.
Hintayin nyo lang mag-focus. Nagbo-vlog pa kasi.
Okay, so we're going to have a question and answer portion, and you're going to have to answer the questions if that's all right with you.
Okay.
Okay, so okay guys, if you have any questions for our speaker, please type them in the chat or raise your hand and we'll address them one by one, right? There, we have a question by John Mark Lesias. What approaches can help mitigate cultural and language barriers in global remote teams?
Prepared question mo ba to, JP?
So, does it?
Di yun sa'yo.
No, it's not mine. It's a question by Sir by Mr. Lesias.
Cultural language barriers. Just yung mostly they use English. Yung second company ko was Redify. It's a company based in Singapore. May naka-work ako na Indonesians, Malaysians, taga UK. All of us used English. So like yun yung parang common medium. Same thing. Actually, it doesn't matter. Like nag-interview ako sa mga companies na like from China. They also use English. Mga Chinese yung CEO nila, tapos yun. Pero yeah, yun yung common so mga medyo nahihirapan mag-English, start na kayo mag-practice. Tapos yung language barriers in global remote teams. Actually, yung language barriers is not really a problem. Yung pinaka-problem dito yung cultural barrier, yung cultural differences. Nangyari ito sa akin na di ba, like, bago ako sa team, tapos nag-push ako ng code, tapos kinode review yung code. Tapos yung senior na dev, nagbigay siya ng code review sa akin. Tapos yung code review, binasa ko yung code review, siya, like yung initial impression ko, ina-atake ako. As a person, yung initial impression ko, kay critic. Pero I think what really helped dito, at least sa akin, like to overcome yung cultural barrier, yung cultural differences, gumamit ako ng ChatGPT. So, kinopy ko yung code review, nilagay ko kay ChatGPT, tinanong ko kay ChatGPT, ano yung like what is this person trying to tell me? Di ba? Like tapos yun, nakita ko na actually is just trying to help me improve yung code. Ito yung parts na gusto niyang like is trying to guide me, kumbaga. Hindi actually na inaatake niya ako. Pero yung because of the cultural barrier, akala ko talaga na yung initial impression ko talaga is inaatake niya ako as a person. Yun. Yeah, use yung whatever tools you have. Kung hindi naman may AI tools naman, pero like what people did before, walang AI tools before, kinausap lang nila yung person, like try to ask the person ba na what, like, can you help me understand ano yung sinasabi mo? Like nangyayari to, like pagkausap ko yung QA, for example, yung QA bibigyan ka nila ng steps to reproduce, tapos hindi mo ma-reproduce yung steps, hindi mo magawa, like tinry mo na talaga, tapos pwede mong i-ask sila like paano ba to, like meet kayo, schedule kayo ng meeting, kita kayo, tapos have a conversation. Yun lang.
Thank you for that wonderful answer, Sir Sabit. So, does that answer your question, Mr. Lesias? Yes. Okay. So, okay, let's have another question. If you have a question, please raise your hand, or you could just put it in the chat box. Okay, Adi, meron. Okay, so a question from Francis Calnaveda, how do you handle burnout or lack of motivation, especially when working from home? And what strategies do you use to regain energy and stay productive?
Mm, yung burnout, it's hard. It's hard yung burnout kasi the thing about tech, it's mas mataas yung burnout rate sa tech kaysa sa mga surgeons. Like, di ba, like, yung mga surgeons, very stressful yung jobs nila, life or death. Tapos, mas mataas yung burnout rate pa rin ng tech kaysa sa kanila. Yeah, so this is a hard question. Pero like, yung burnout, like, I guess yung advice ko lang dyan is, do things na you enjoy outside of work. Ako kasi, like, you would think na nagko-code ako sa work, tapos bakit ako nagko-code pa sa personal time ko, di ba? Like, why am I doing that, di ba? Parang parang pina-fast forward ko lang yung burnout ko, kumbaga. No, that's not what I'm doing, and that's not what other devs are doing that codes on their free time. The thing about kasi coding sa akin, it's like a hobby. I do it for fun. I like it. I like solving problems. Pero yung sa work kasi, yung sinosolve mo na problems, they're not your own. So, yun yung nakaka-cause ng burnout. Kasi, you're doing things na you don't enjoy. Like, it's para siyang, kasi it's work. It's what you do para sa trabaho mo. Like, sometimes it gets monotonous, paulit-ulit. May ticket, na-solve mo yung problem, may bagong ticket na naman. It's like infinite. Paulit-ulit siya. So, if you let it get to you, maburnout ka talaga. So, like, what I do to recharge is I code. Like, I'm aware that I like coding. It's not that I hate the job. I like coding, but like I don't like yung monotonous nature ng job. Kasi wala kang choice. It's what pays the bills. Yung yung pero yung what I do on my free time, these are things I enjoy. Kasi the way I see tech, it's a creative field. It's a creative field. Like, it's how you can express yourself. Kumbaga. You can express yourself. Like, if you have like two developers, same problem, they will approach it differently. Ganun siya. Like, it's a creative field. So parang it's how I let out my creative juices, kumbaga, by coding alone. Pero hindi lang to. Like, of course, another part is like have a life outside of work. Kasi so work from home kasi it's easy to have yung work mo tapos yung life mo. It's like it's this. Wala ang choice. That's what will happen in remote settings. Dati kasi, pag office kasi, yung office mo, like, from sa bahay, travel ka, commute, papunta sa office, 9 to 5, tapos, pag tapos na yung 9 to 5, balik ka sa bahay, and then, di ba, like, there's like a clear separation of work and life. Pero pag mag-remote work na kasi, wala nang ganun. Like, wala nang clear separation. So, I guess it's, don't try to resist it. Just accept na wala na siyang, like, yung separation is gone. Pero, try to have a life outside work. Like, go, like, sa tech, like, remote work, I'm mostly on my desk, sitting down, di ba? So, try to go out, maglakad-lakad kayo, jog, or meet friends, meet people. Like, I always, every time every month, may meet up yung Dev8. I always go there. Hindi ako member ng Dev8. I only go there just to meet new people. Si Nico is one of my closest friends. I met him on Dev8, di ba? Like, I met him on Dev8. Si Janden used to be one of my closest friends then. I met her on Dev8. Parang gonna, like, just go out there, actually touch grass, touch grass, like, meet people, explore. I like traveling. Last month, napunta ako sa Baguio. Yun, parang ganun, like, just have a life outside of work. Tapos, what strategies do you gain to regain energy and stay productive? I guess focused sessions. Aware kayo sa Pomodoro, right? Aware kayo sa Pomodoro? No. It's like you have sessions na maybe 15 minutes you're working, 5 minutes break. Or pwede mong i-modify yun to 20-10, 20 minutes nag-work ka, 10 minutes break. Like, instead of like doing like 8 hours na work, have breaks in between. It helps. Yeah, like, yung break na yun, get up, drink water, walk around, di ba? Like, do some stretching, Yun. Yun. Ano pa ba? Music. It's either like I listen to music while I'm coding kasi so like music na it hypes me up. So like, di ba? Like yung beat na music, it hypes me up. Tapos nagaganahan ako mag-code. I do that then. Again, it depends naman sa inyo. Like, you will develop your own strategies. There's no one solution that works with everyone. It depends talaga yun sa personality nyo, how you work. Yeah. Alam ko na yung ibang devs, they have like a completely different way of working. Si Nico, he cannot work like I do. Like, hindi niya kaya na nasa office lang and like sa bahay niya. Hindi niya kaya yun. Like, he has to actually go out. He has to go out, be outside. Tapos like mga cafes ba, like may mga tao na nag-walk around. Like, yun yung environment na gusto niya. Ako, I cannot do that. Kasi ako, if I try to do that, nadidistract ako. Pag nakikita ko na may naglalakad-lakad na mga tao, I cannot focus. So, hindi ko yung ginagawa. So, again, it depends sa personality nyo, sa what type of, like yung how you work ba. Malalaman nyo na naman yun, like yung preferences niya. Yeah.
All right. Does that answer your question? Nag-thank you na. That means it's a very satisfying answer siguro. Okay, so let's have one more question before we head to the next part of our program. Okay. Wow. How can remote? Here's a question from Rogelio Osenia Jr. It's okay. This question is for you, Mr. Sabit, Officer Sabit. How can remote developers ensure effective communication and collaboration with their team while working on complex coding projects, especially when working across different time zones?
It depends sa company nyo. Like, if for example, if Australia yung Australia yung company mo, yung time zone nila is similar sa atin, so it's easy. You can work sa time nila. Pero like, for example, kagaya ko, yung time zone ko is like Canada. It's like 12-hour difference. Yung, ano ba ngayon? 11 a.m. Ngayon, sa kanila is 12 or about 11 p.m. sa kanila. So like, there's like this difference that, so yung ginagawa ko dyan is, I do some work sa umaga, some work lang. Tapos, may mga ports na nahihirapan ako, or like, hindi naman sa nahihirapan, but more like, hindi ko siya masosolve na, like, I need to ask questions. Like, for example, like, yung QA, nagbigay siya ng test steps, tapos tinry ko i-replicate, sinunod ko yung video na binigay niya sa akin, hindi ko ma-replicate, so I have to ask questions. Or, may ticket, tapos may specification, ano yung kailangan gawin, tapos hindi ko maintindihan. Like, I need clarifications. So yun, nag-allocate ako ng time na gising sila. So usually, yung work namin is like 9 to 5. So yung 9 to 5 sa kanila is like 9 p.m. So like, nag-work ako sometime in the morning, sometime at night. Tapos mga 12, tulog na ako.
All right. Does that answer your question, Mr. Osenia? Okay, so it's a very good answer though. Okay, so does anyone else have a question or wala na? No more? Going once, going twice. Wala na siguro. Okay, so let's get to the awarding